Well, we were talking about Oregon and how both of these teams have played aggressive in the past, and we just had an Oregon matchup yesterday on here on the Bravo stream, which was Mach.It against Liquid. Two teams I also would have pegged as being extremely aggressive on Oregon, and yet it turned into 5v5s with 20 seconds left in 75% of the rounds. So I'm curious to see if Rogue will stay in that kind of a shell that they were in yesterday against SSG, or if they're going to try and flex out a little bit more and try and be the showstoppers they need to be in this situation, as it is do or die.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams will slow down when they come to events like this, and we've noticed that actually a lot. I mean, in that previous match, for example, Reciprocity put themselves up 6-0, and then they started slowing down because they got a little too cautious. It does happen, and they won it, so that's all that really matters. But yeah, it's good to see when teams don't let themselves get pushed out of their own game style. So we're going to have ban phase concluded now. Maverick, Habana, Mira, and Maestro. Pretty standard set here. On Oregon, the Habana is a little abnormal and interesting to see, but not too crazy. That's for sure. It's going to make defending the basement a whole lot easier. It's also going to make defending top floor easier because in order to open up that closet, you will have to rush your thermite into, well, the closet. This is very dangerous. The Habana can open up safely from outside on the balcony, and now no longer an option for either team. Going to be interesting how that plays out. It's possible that that ban was specifically targeted at maybe trying to catch somebody off guard, C4 from below when they're attacking the top floor, or something along those lines, or they're just trying to force people to push into the main lobby to open up that drop down where you can shoot them from the kitchen if nobody's cleared west, or meeting hall, or maybe just top of laundry stairs. Who knows? We'll see. But it does force more commitment on the hard destructor side.
Having both the Habana and the Maverick ban will help facilitate defenses downstairs in a more turtle aspect. Yesterday, while we were seeing Oregon, we saw it come out twice, at least here on the Bravo stream, and teams, I believe, went 4 for 15 downstairs through 2 different maps. And it was because they really tried to invest into a pretty spread-thin roam game upstairs and a couple hard holds inside of meeting, but when you lose the Habana and the Maverick, that means if you full reinforce both meeting hatches, the front hatch, they've got to make a call. It helps you turtle a little bit nicer downstairs, and might turn the tide in changing that 4 for 15 a little more even ground in a 50-50 like we're talking about heading into the map.
Immortals gonna be going for a tower clear first things first, and that means they're probably gonna want to take onto those north windows. So they've got control of tower. They don't need to worry about being flanked from the north windows, at least not directly from tower. Of course, there is technically attic, but since there's a rotation hole and not a reinforcement right here, as you can see Navi's looking at, that means that Immortals will have control of attic along with tower. So it's a 2-for-1 essentially, and all of the flanks have been isolated again on the north windows. There is somebody playing inside a meeting hall though. Looks like that's gonna be Bert, and he's gonna go undroned, going for a free kill. That's nice, and I'm sure Rogue are happy that they were given such an early present in this match. I have no idea what Immortals was thinking there, not droning out meeting hall before they pushed it.
Well, you can see 2 more drones come filing in through that door from the stage. They'll reassess the location of Vertical up on stage, currently playing in behind the podium, and slowly creeping his way towards the middle of meeting hall, trying to ascertain an angle onto that doorway. Pre-fires come out, not gonna land, and Vert's main job here is to be the bait, and for some reason, again, Bullet not paying any attention. Finally, they'll connect. Bullet will eventually trade out Vertical, but a lot of damage done in the process. He was trying to bait in for Eclipse to peek in from that pantry rotate at the same time.
Well, Vertical goes down, but from behind, it's easily to finish off the final HP of Bullet. And now Rogue back in the man count lead. An excellent setup here from Easily too. He could get a pretty easy kill, but oh no, the Jackal marks. He'll be forced back to the main lobby. Good rotation and reaction there from Easily. There's nobody to cut him off here at the main lobby, so he should be able to make it back to site. But it looks like he wants to bait for as long as possible. Overall, a very triumphant roam round from Rogue, but it could have been even better if Bird had been landing his shots in the right moment. Twitch was wearing that skin again, man. It's that freaking skin.
That skin.
It must have disoriented him, and I honestly don't blame him. We have see, here's the thing, guys. We have the outlines. we can see the silhouette of the enemy, and it's obvious to us, but it's not, they don't have that. Easel's gonna get another one. That's M-King going down. 2 for him in the round, and the roam from Easily is more than successful.
Grabs 2 pick on the roam, and Slashog will finish off Cyber, so it's all PX left alone as the Breacher with the Diffuser are stuck on the roof with not a lot of options to choose from. Either jump in big window and fall to the toxic gas that will choke you out, and the sea of barbed wire holding in, a multitude of angles being held from over on the kid's side and top white. And the crouch spam comes out from Slashog, and he'll finish that one off with ease. It's a near flawless round for Rogue. A better start than they had yesterday, that's for sure.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, a lot of it comes down to how Immortals played it, though. Pushing into Meeting Hall without droning it.
To be honest, it reminded me of how Rogue has looked so far this season in Pro League.
Yeah.
Jumping the gun, making assumptions that certain portions of a map will be safe without droning it, just skipping steps.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened for Immortals. They skipped a whole lot of steps. I'm not sure what they were expecting in that situation, and it mostly falls on the shoulders of Navi's, because as we saw, immediately after he got eliminated, there was a follow-up from the rest of Immortals. But they got distracted. Doubling down on the drones that are moving to Meeting Hall doesn't make it so you have more information. It just is unnecessary use of utility. Instead, maybe send one of those drones to clear out underneath tower stairs. They didn't easily, took full advantage, and Rogue put together one of the best roams we've seen on Oregon in a while. That was a very dominant lockout. Following that, easily just walked over to Junk Tower, and hey, look at that, I'm still free as a bird. I can just flank you, and another free kill for Easily. So, we'll go downstairs, and Rogue will be on the standard site set so far. They are going to have to go to an offsite if they win this, though. It's worth noting. Tower, kitchen, not easy to defend. And it's why this is one of the most balanced in terms of attacker and defender.
I'm interested by the lineup that Rogue has brought here, because it looks like they've gone for at least investing a lot of reinforcements in the meeting for a temporary hold. And we'll have to see if the pressure is too much to handle from Immortals, if they'll all just peel back and anchor up on site, or if they're going to stand and fight inside of meeting for the entirety of the round. But they do have a lot of mobile operators who can maneuver the map quite well, and also the information coming out from, I imagine, Shuttle's bulletproof camera, considering Maestro's banned, and Eclipse with the Valkyrie cameras.
Now, the information from Valkyrie is going to be incredibly important. The fact that Echo's not being brought is quite interesting, especially on a basement defense. But Valkyrie can substitute, and I haven't personally casted a match today where, or a map even today, where Valkyrie has not been banned. That best of 3 that we just casted, Parker and I, Valkyrie's gone the whole time. It's because she's such a powerful operator right now in this meta. Information is so important, and Valkyrie often goes overlooked in the ban phase. You see those Maestro and Echoes get banned out a lot, but people don't really bother with Valkyrie sometimes. There are some teams that do, Reciprocity being one of them. It's Reciprocity's most banned defender, in fact. But, yeah, hit and miss. Depends on who you're playing against. Again, curious that there's a Doc in lieu of an Echo. I don't know how I feel about that, especially considering the Doc is roaming. I feel like there's potential for both on-site and off-site presence if you're an Echo, but not so much as a Doc. Though, he is holding on to Box using the drop-down in Meeting Hall, so at least there's that.
Well, it seems like the last round has been a wake-up call for Immortals, as no one is jumping the gun this time around, but they are collecting the same information over and over again without acting upon it.
Also, Slash is rotated into blue, and nobody knows. M-King's going to get caught off guard. It's an easy kill for Slashog. Very impressive. He loses a lot of HP, but again, nobody checked this from Immortals, and Slash took full advantage.
There goes Further on the roam. He's going to get traded out immediately by Navi's up top inside of Attic, so that's your meeting pressure dispatched of. But you've lost another member. Bullet and M-King will both fall in the lack of information once again on the side of Immortals, and you've still got Slash inside of blue right now with a perfect cross of, it looks like Cyber, attempting to rotate back down the tower stairs. Peeks back and forth. No bullets will land as Eclipse will retreat deeper underneath the safety of an unreinforced hallway hatch. Could be popped open at any moment, but IMT struggling right now to make a call on where they want to go. You can see PX just floundering in the back outside, unsure of where he actually wants to push, and it looks like all of Immortals now coalesce inside of meeting. This is going to be a back push through drops, and now PX getting a different call to go back down through blue tunnel and not to contest with Slash. Point blank range with a shotgun. feel like Slash is going to have the upper hand on that one. Cyber will drop into box, just on the opposite side is Slash, ripping through the soft wall of the shotgun, and Slash onto 5 HP, turns the corner into the waiting arms of the PDW as Cyber. Pressed right up against close is now easily with the MP7. He'll retreat to safety, 8 seconds, and IMT just going to have to send full in the force, and there goes Easily taking down PX, and another one for Easily, a 3K for him, as he stands and fights, holds true inside a supply room, and Rogue will lock out another one. Immortals jumping the gun on round number 1, taking a little too long, a little indecisive on round number 2.
I mean, that clear from Immortals was not really clear. And that's the problem, is they were trying to set up a wall of covering defaults with the drones, then the pushes, right? Standard stuff. And then based on that, if it works, you're going to have a round result that all depends on who's winning their gunfights. But the fact that Immortals just are droning exceptionally, really poorly, there's not much else to say. Rogue are taking full advantage. They're happy, of course, that Immortals are playing the way that they are, but if at any point Immortals start locking things up and working as a unit, I'm sure it'll shut Rogue down pretty heavily, because Rogue are taking a lot of risks. And Immortals just need to cover the eventuality of those gambles that Rogue are taking. So, I don't know. It's weird to see Immortals playing like this, and we'll see if they can correct it. They are going to be bringing a Finka. It's quite interesting. Finka combined with a Ying, that's a lot of kind of X factors that you're going to have to deal with.
Well, the timer stopped, so I'm going to assume we're at a timeout, and I imagine IMT would be the ones calling the TAC timeout.
Look at Rogue's faces. Remember when we started this and they had the giant smiles on their faces? They've gotten bigger. Rogue are in a good place. Yeah. Well, that's good to see from Rogue. It looks like we have some technical issues. It's not a tactical timeout. It looks like somebody's computer is not having good time. Seems to be Verticals.
As he emerges from underneath the desk.
Yeah, he's back, guys.
On work of his own.
I was wondering where he went. Honestly, I was really confused. I was like, did they take him away from the desk? I don't know.
Your computer's gorked. He can't be here anymore. You need to leave.
What he's doing with his mouse, it looks like maybe he's got some stutter. Maybe his refresh rate is off or something along those lines, but it's hard to tell. Obviously, all we know is technical issue, so they should have it fixed pretty soon here. One thing I will say is this is actually really good for Immortals, all things considered. Actually, it depends, right? Because if they stew and don't really, start taking this time to focus up, then this is really bad for Immortals. But it depends on how they handle it.
Well, look at the demeanor. Half of them are just silent, looking down. And granted, it's only 2 rounds, but you don't want to get dejected that early.
It's true.
I've seen a lot of emotional series throughout these games, and it seems like the teams that, even when facing tough times, Norengo yesterday down 4-0, they're dancing, they're having fun, they're doing their own little disco party, and they were able to bring it back. I mean, I don't know, as much as Siege is a tactical game and a team game, it is a mental game as well. You have to remain sure of yourself.
Yeah. Confidence is key, and that is the truth. There's a lot of that actually going around at the higher level of Siege play. Some people will lose that confidence. And that's what really makes me happy to see Rogue playing the way that they're playing right now, because they seem to be very focused, very confident, and it's allowing them to put up 2 rounds early on. Look at them, they're still looking, man. Such a good place. Well, we're waiting on what's going on with Vert. Looks like his mouse maybe is the problem, as he just unplugged it. And maybe he'll get a new mouse, or we'll figure out exactly what happened. Maybe it's the extension cable. Who knows? Who knows? Find out in due time. But we're trying to fix it. Maybe that's why Vertical missed that shot when it was Jaeger in first round.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was a pretty
easy shot.
A pretty easy shot, and I gotta imagine it might have been the mouse if he's having trouble with it.
It's also interesting that we see a rear stage and tower site come out from Rogue, and not that dining or kitchen is much better by any stretch of the imagination, but tower was also one of the least successful sites yesterday through the international play, at least. Yeah,
it is going to be tower when we actually get into the match. It's gotta go somewhere for your 3rd site. Yeah. May as well be tower. Like I said, better than kitchen usually, and I think it's got a higher win rate as well.
Yeah, as a whole through like the first half of season 9. Kitchen is in the tank.
Yeah, because kitchen's not, it's not easy. Tower, on the other hand, it's still not an easy site to defend, but here's the thing. Attackers usually get really stuck when attacking it. A lot of teams struggle attacking tower and don't really know what to do, and what'll happen is they'll linger outside tower and spend inordinate amount of times just waiting for free picks, and they don't come, and then the defense will win based on time alone. But looks like we have everything sorted out, so we'll get right back into the action. Rogue up 2-0 and looking strong.
Defuse as many bombs as they can.
The tower defense, most crucial portion of this will be T3 control. How long will someone be able to last up there, and who will it be? Debating between Eclipse and Slash right now, based on the optics that they've chosen.
I want to say Eclipse.
Yeah.
Because usually you see the Jaeger go up there so he can Jaeger juggle in case he needs to.
Slash could be far side with the ACOG.
Maybe.
Off the tower repel.
Yeah. I mean, it could be both for all we know. Sometimes some teams invest 2 into T3.
Yep.
But
by attackers.
there's another Finka Ying combo being brought here from Immortals.
10 seconds remaining.
They were really going for it on that operator selection.
5 seconds remaining.
Finka's going to be really useful here, period, because that's how Finka works. She is just a universally useful operator. Ying, not necessarily the same thing, but she can... I think Ying would be well used to... Oh, wow. Early pick for Slash. That's from the bottom of tower. Oh, no. Is that a construction run out? Did he just get away with it? Oh, no.
He overhealed himself to do it, too.
Oh, that is just unfortunate. Well, it's going to refrag him, though. I think he was going for another peek. Yeah, he was. A little bit of greed there from Slash, but I'm sure his team doesn't mind since he got a kill.
And I mean, you take down the Jackal as well, so it's a very powerful rifle, high rate of fire. You take down the smoke.
Is he doing it?
Well, I think he's going for it.
Oh my.
Easily as the smoke, that's a decision, but Vertical will also take down Navis. So you've lost your Jackal, you've lost your Ash, a lot of your fragging power. You still have a lot of utility on the side of Immortals, but your straight up firepower and weaponry is gone.
He might be able to get away with this if he were to commit to it, but he's going to think better of it and decide to just play inside a tower. It's probably the right call, but you want to see him do it, though. I don't think... Wait, is there anybody on T3?
No, Eclipse was down by meeting. There is no one T3 right now.
We've got nobody... What?
There's a deployable and an ADS up there, but there's...
So one of the strategies you can use to hold T3 is put a smoke on T2 and throw your gas canisters up to the top, but it's very dangerous. And it also relies on smoke not getting picked off. That's got to be why Easily didn't go for the run out. Good to see it now, but still a dangerous way to hold this site for sure. Oh, is he gonna... I want to see him do it, man. I want to see him. I want to... But he's not gonna. He's actually going to eat some damage from PX on Repel, and he will be finished off. Could you imagine if he had just vaulted out and got that double kill? Oh, well, it's done now. And Immortals have control of not only T3, but also T2.
Surprised that Easily exposed himself so hard, especially when the call-out should have come out earlier when Slash died, that they did have a Finka, and his Toxic Waves would have been that much more powerful against anyone overboosted. And there goes Bullet again with the LMG3 on the round for him, and another run out here from Eclipse and Vertical at the same time. Eclipse will garner the kill, low HP, and they've surrendered complete site control. T2, the plant is being attempted now by PX directly on the bomb chassis. And he got Bullet in T3 control, just waiting for anyone to come up. Another one for Bullet as he tacks on. It's up to Vertical now in a 1v2, trying to retreat back from a meeting. The diffuser is down, time ticking away, explosions for more visibility. It's Vertical, not a lot of options here. It's the T3 peak, and Bullet will clean it up. Immortals will bring back around on the tower attack, and no coverage of T3 seemed to really be the culprit on that one for Rogue.
Their coverage was meant to be Easily, and that's why he didn't vault the window when he had the opportunity to. He was the linchpin of that round. He needed to stay alive in order to throw his gas canisters up to the top in T3 and deny the entrance from the attackers. But he died. So...
Yeah, it's usually pretty bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's it. That's all it was, though. Easily was supposed to hold both T2 and T3, and he died. After that, the defenders lost control of both. Immortals turned it into a round win. There's nothing else to really be said there. Rogue needed to invest more in the top of tower, period. End of story.
Shuttle 6 picking off a dock to a Rook. The only feasible explanation I can think for that is the impacts.
Dock to a Rook?
Yeah. You don't want impacts on Slash.
I don't know, dude.
Who else has got them?
I guess if you need the impacts, but I don't think you really do. I mean, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what the Rook does. It doesn't really matter. Between Rook and Doc, I don't think it's the end of the world. They're both kind of equally useful, all things considered. I would say Doc is a little bit more practical, but if you think about how Rook works, he is always useful, no matter what. So if we're talking about like long-term, Rook always gets the job done, period. Unless one of your teammates is really lazy and doesn't pick up their armor. But that's unusual at this level. So it does happen though. So yeah, no, I don't know. I guess we've been seeing a lot of Rook, oddly, during this tournament. And I think it just comes down to the fact that, yeah, he's always good. He's got impacts. He's got the MP5. Why not? Also, have you noticed how hard it is to headshot a Rook compared to a Doc? Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. I don't know if it's just the elite skin on the Rook or if it's just Rook as a whole. I think it's Rook as a whole because his silhouette is pretty much, well, it's monochromatic and even on default skin. And whereas you've got with Doc, it's a little bit less so because he's got the white helmet and stuff like that. So it's easier to really notice. But I don't know. That's all just game theory. So we've got Immortals pushing their way towards the main lobby. Jackal's a great operator to have and one that is often banned. But here when he's not banned, he's going to allow you to hunt down those roamers with great efficiency. Last time around, Immortals tried to attack this objective. They tried to go in for a tower clear through meeting, and it never resulted in anything beyond that, as it just turned into PX stuck alone on the roof in a 1v4. So Immortals here, they've also abandoned their Ying and Finka strategy. They only brought it for one round, possibly knowing that Rogue would be forced off to a tertiary site that would be unfavorable. But I kind of like the lineup for Immortals, especially because those aggressive operators would give you a kickstart. Those type of operators would give you initiative and incentive to push faster and make progressions quicker and give you ease through utility of making progressions through the map faster. No one's ever used that word in a cast with me. What? Progression? Tertiary? Incentive? I said a lot of big words there. Kickstart. Oh. I can't believe you missed it. There we go. It took you a second. Reasley and the rest of Rogue in a great position right now, especially after Slash is going to take out Cyber. But Bullet with the refrag on a vertical, Slash going for a very aggressive play. This is actually in line with his character so far through this match. He always positions himself in the most trepidatious position possible. It's not a great thing to do regularly, but it has been working against Immortals. We'll see if he makes it work this time. No one's droning him. That's the really tricky thing is this. Since he's not being droned, he can get away with this. Clip's still playing downstairs on the pulse, and he's looking for a target in that cardiac sensor. Again, the droning from Immortals. Absolutely terrible. Buck from underneath is going to try and force Slash to move, and he will be successful. Slash goes down. Immortals have gained the man advantage, but it's right back to even as Eclipse eliminates Bullet. 3 versus 3, and what a vault from the Twitch and a double for Shuttle! Absolutely insane gunplay. He goes for the third and gets it. Rogue take the round off of Rook's gunplay. What a great peek there from Shuttle. It was unfortunate because he looked into Generator, saw a shoulder, and looked away at the same time it crossed in front of him. Made the smarter play at the end of the day. Got 2 in a spray on a transfer and pulled out the pistol for the third. A beautiful play there from Shuttle. And you're right on the money. The droning, the information being acquired from Immortals, suspect, subpar, just not good enough. Just not good enough. Bad. There you go. Yeah. Bad. It's horrendous. I don't know. I think the way that Immortals have been playing so far, dude, I remember this match that we had not, 20 minutes ago. Nip versus Reciprocity. Let me tell you about this match. In Map 2 and Map 3, suddenly, for no conceivable reason, Ninjas in Pajamas weren't there anymore. And right off the bat, we're seeing that with Immortals. This is not Immortals right here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, they're not here yet. They'll find their footing. They'll arrive. I'm sure of it. I'm confident. It's a best of 3. Yep. But right this second, they are not present. Well, it was the same story yesterday, ironically, for another Latin American team in Liquid. They did not start on time against Mocket, and it cost them a map. They weren't. They just looked like they weren't even awake on border on map number 1. They lost 7-2 to Mocket, and it set the tone, and they ended up losing the best of 3. I want to say that maybe it's just the map. Maybe Immortals just don't like Oregon. The only problem is I have no frame of reference, because Immortals have banned Oregon 4 times throughout this season, and through the qualifiers potentially, and they have played it exactly 0. Which means that there's nothing really to say about Immortals on Oregon. Whereas with Rogue, they have banned it 5 times and lost it once. The only time they played it. So this is a really weird map to be going to for these teams.
For both of them.
For both of them, yeah. And right now, Rogue are making it work. One thing that really stands out to me, the way the Rogue is playing, they just don't care, man.
No.
You can see it. We saw it on their faces going into this match, and you could see it in their gameplay. Rogue just doesn't give a hoot. It's obvious. Plain as day.
And that's a big difference compared to just yesterday against their game, or in their game against Space Station. They looked very pent up, very serious, very worried.
Why do you think they lost so decisively?
They're getting in their own heads, and it seems like it wasn't even, because we've talked about this team over and over again, and how they're misstepping in Pro League right now, and how they have the potential to do so much better.
Yeah, Rogue's amazing.
It seems like it's a mentality thing.
And Shuttle in that last round showed us what Rogue is capable of. I mean, those flicks were insane. And that's what everyone on Rogue is capable of. They have that capacity. And it's awesome to see it happen. That was an amazing round from Shuttle, and it instilled, I'm sure, a lot of confidence into every single player on Rogue. So that's great to see. A nice setup here from Rogue in Meeting Hall, by the way. The mute jammers, the yokai drones, trying to support Vertical, given the best chance he can at roaming up here.
You've also got that yokai inside of Meeting, looking in towards Pantry now. There is a flank hold inside of Kitchen currently, holding off on the right side of that impact rotate. But you've got a 3-man stack downstairs with 2 Nitro Cells and Slash's Toxic Babes. That's a good amount of utility, especially if they try and use the Adrenal Surge on the Finka from Navi's to try and push in on a site execute.
He's entering here with nobody droning for him. Navi's, again, blind entry. He'll get hit by the yokai drone. This is ill-advised for Immortals. Vertical's just going to play safe because look at the time. He doesn't need to make an aggressive play. All his team needs to do is wait. They have counterplant utility in abundance, and they only have 43 seconds.
They've elected to go for a complete ignoring of Vertical inside of Meeting, and this might just be their demise. A Claymore, though, Vertical,
How did he not?
Down.
Wow.
M-King will clean up Vertical, and that's your Meeting hold taken care of now just by lazily allowing him to walk into a Claymore. But with 26 seconds, the Toxic Babe will start choking out everyone in Immortals as they all stack upon themselves on the main stairwell. Smoke grenades to come and disrupt the purview of all defenders. All that's left open is a peek from the hallway, and Navi's going to drop straight in with the LMG, unloaded a slash like another one peeking him, and Eclipse will fall. That's 3 for Navi's on the round, and Shuttle will trade 1 back onto M-King. The plant going down from PX at the depths of the laundry bin. Siren will shut down Shuttle. The Nitro Cell will not connect. It's all easily alone, circling around inside of Supply Room, and Navi's with another one. The LMG on the Finka for Immortals seems to be the difference maker for them, and you gotta wonder if Vertical had just looked down, how that push would have looked like with pressure on the backside.
The counterplant utility was there for Rogue. Immortals, though, had enough to disrupt. Navi's was the key player of that round, managing to win it almost single-handedly, I gotta be honest. Putting in so much work as the Finka, not only buffing up his teammates, but also landing the shots that were necessary. That's what you gotta see in order to get the win. That's what Rogue have been doing so far. It's good to see Immortals answer back, finally. That's 2 for them, but their most decisive round just happening. We'll go to Laundry again, following Rogue's defeat in just the round prior. I think this is a good call on Oregon. You see a lot more of repeats because there's only the 2 sites that are viable, really.
Yeah.
You need to get wins where you can. And if you're not able to defend the basement or the top floor, either of them really, regularly, then you're not going to have a good time on defensive Oregon, period. And you'd have to get really lucky to be able to bounce back. So, Rogue sticking to their guns. I think it's the right call. This is the last round, the first half, though. So, if you're a Rogue fan, I bet you certainly hope it is the right call. The roamers were...
New feet up. 10 seconds
that
left.
Claymore, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to skate around it by just generalizing roamers, but it was just vertical on the roam as far as I could tell inside a Meeting Hall.
Yep.
And wow, I cannot believe he didn't see that.
Recovered the bomb diffuser.
It's pretty standard Claymore too, especially off the reinforcement tucked inside a pantry. That is your typical Claymore spot, and really it's supposed to be a sound cue when they shoot it to let you know there's a flank coming. It's not supposed to kill someone.
It's like a barricade.
Yep.
Like just a regular door or window barricade, like the one Cyber just vaulted through. It's a sound cue, man.
Yep.
It's a visual cue, or a visual impairment, and then a sound cue. Claymore's just a sound cue. And also, technically, I guess, a visual impairment, and that makes them look in a certain direction. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. Surprised that he didn't see it. I guess he was the one visually impaired in that moment. Navi's going to be pushing his way into Garage, and this is a good amount of control because what you could do is isolate Classroom and main lobby, just by taking control of this one location. It's also going to cut off rotation from the laundry stairs just by opening up that wall, and that's going to deter any retakes of the laundry stairs from Rogue. Good play to have.
Well, they swapped the setup a little bit, too. They've double reinforced the pantry wall this time. Instead of giving themselves the rotate, it'll be up to Immortals to see if they even want to push in and contest that and open it up, or, again, leave the Claymore front door this time in the middle of split. They've also added easily on a pulse this time instead of on a mute, and they've put him inside of meeting to join vertical. So there's a little more pushing power to bust out of split when that side execute comes out from Immortals.
Adrenaline surge incoming.
It's taking a while. Half the round already transpired. There was no real west clear from Immortals. They kind of just assumed that it was empty. Yeah. Did you notice that? And that's not a great thing to do, but they got away with it because it was empty. So at least there's that. Rogue are just waiting. This is going to be much like the last round, where it's going to come down to the counterplant utility and who's fragging out aside from that. The drop down finally being opened up, and the rotation is cut off in Meeting Hall. But there are players in Tower and Attic for the defense.
You see those silhouettes up top inside of Attic, and it looked like T2 looking to windows, maybe shoot over towards the top of the armory stairs, but PX isn't in range of any bullets that would land in.
Could be 2-3 even.
True. 3 stack now on the main stairs, and you've got all the frag grenades coming out, and the smoke grenades. Eclipse is watching for a back push, but his nitro cell will be crucial. Trying to delay this plant last time, as 2 nitro cells were launched from Rogue, and neither are connected on the intended targets in the midst of a plant attempt. 1 smoke, try and bait out any toxic babes in utility, but you also got Shuttle still up with Yokais. PX is going to push in for the immediate plant attempt, and a toxic babe will land directly at his feet, forcing him off. So good utility counterbalance there from Slashhug to push back the initial attempt from Immortals. A nitro cell being ripped, but not launched out just yet from easily. Put it back in the pocket, playing him behind the clock, but here comes the drop from Immortals, and they're just going to both send it down behind the island. PX retreats to his initial attempted plant spot, but now Navi's overhealed on the Adrenal Surge. Will start pushing through. He's got 2 lined up for him. Grabs 1 with the LMG, and a second one as he's in Eclipse post fall. Trying to go for 3, but Slashhug will win it out with the shotgun point blank range. The plant is still going down. PX interrupted. This can't go off just yet. And Shuttle Vertical coming in above the hatch, and Bullet with a nasty shot will shut that down. Shuttle in a 1v3 as the Yokai was shot out, trying to use the second blast to disrupt the plant attempt. You've got Cyber inside a classroom, and Shuttle will notice the Claymore this time. Use it as the sound cover, wait for the drones. Still has a little bit of time to work with, but he has 3 targets to find. One of the depths of supply, one top main who's battling with back and forth. He'll down off Bullet, pulls out the bearing, but unaware of the man inside of classroom. Cyber, point blank range with the other secondary SMG that is most popular. And it'll be Immortals drawing things even as we head into the second half.
That went about as poorly as it could have gone for Rogue. Shuttle did not play his Yokai drone very well. He hit the diffuser as it was being planted, but not waiting for the 0-0-0 meant it didn't matter. Immortals were able to get back on. You saw there for just a moment, Slash almost landed enough shots to deny the plant, and if it weren't for the laundry bins, I'm sure he would have. It probably would have been an easy denial there, but it's not to be. Slash missed, and the Yokai drones were not played perfectly by Rogue. Following that, we saw the Jaeger in main lobby had another opportunity, but it just wasn't enough.
Beautiful shot by the Jackal. I'm pretty sure it was Cyber that round, or no, Bullet that round.
I know it's kind of a bit of a reverse, but as soon as I saw the Jaeger in main lobby, I just started thinking of Renton! Renton! Renton, he has to plant!
We had a Renton moment yesterday.
It
was interesting. I think it was the Norengo Penta game.
I think I've had 1 or 2 Renton moments, but I've been lucky enough to actually cinch it. There was one moment way back when I actually used to play, and it was a clubhouse. Serenity was on the disable, and I dropped right in front of Big Window by Billiards to deny him disabling the diffuser. But it was a bit of a Renton moment because I almost missed it, dude. If he hadn't faked, I would have missed it. But yeah,
I remember that.
A bit of a Renton moment there for the Jaeger in main lobby from Rogue. That's the half done, though, and it's an expected result. 3-3 on Oregon, that makes sense. So, still anyone's match.
So, I'm not sure if Bullet botched something or what happened, but he's got an MP5K on his mute setup with 0 attachments. Iron sights, no.
I'll be honest with you, man. Sometimes the game does just randomly change your equipment. Like, that actually does happen.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with you. It's just the game will sometimes do that. You gotta be careful. Every time you go into a round, to double check that your equipment hasn't been randomly swapped, because that happens to me all the time. I don't know if it's happened to you before.
Yep, plenty of times.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really unfortunate for Bullet, but I'm sure he can make it work.
I mean, the iron sights in the MP5K, they're bulky, but the actual reticle is not terrible.
Also, yeah, there's little to no recoil on the gun, so a lack of a barrel is probably not going to be the worst thing. Oh, we'll see though. I mean, he hasn't gotten into a fight just yet. It's been a decently efficient clear here from Rogue, and they're actually going to get a pick as well. There goes Bullet, by the way. So as it turns out, it was crippling for him, as he will be gone now.
Unfortunate. It was also Cyber playing up in T3, looking out through windows, and Vert looked like he was going to get an engagement with him, but Cyber jumped off before they could really come to blows, and now Vert is reassessing. Ooh, pre-fires from Cyber, almost connecting under the shoulders of Vertical. He whips past the window, but none will connect.
If Vertical gets somebody to drone out Meeting Hall, he could have gotten a kill there. The smoke of M-King was very exposed. He was playing by sandbags, but it's not to be. M-King will rotate. Vertical's playing it safe, and I think it's the right call in this scenario.
Vertical indecisive as to whether or not he should drone this or have someone else do it for him, but it looks like he's abandoning the entire tower push as a whole and pushing him with the rest of his team, who've all coalesced towards main lobby, and they have the 5v4 single-man advantage. Plenty of smokes and plenty of utility. But with 50 seconds left, you might want to start baiting things out just about now. Bulletproof camera will be dispatched by Vertical with the remote detonation, and now it'll come down to the utility on the side of Immortals to quell this storm that is incoming. First smoke grenades coming out, and a Toxic Babe in reciprocation as Vertical is holding Cyber's rotated at the back. They still have the men advantage on site on a 4v3 on the execute. The Toxic Babe was taking down a decent amount of health as Slashug and Eclipse tried to push in for the initial plant attempt. No such luck as this Cold War at the back of tower continues on. Still stacking on top of the main stairs right now. No real progression as the asphyxiating bolts will slowly push M-King out of his desired position inside of Closet. The plant attempt coming out now from Eclipse as Slash is covering through the smoke. Lots of shots, but none will connect. And actually, as I say that, the MP5 SD will be responsible for downing off Slash, but 2 kills in response from Rogue. Slash will be cleaned up, and Navi's with the second one with the MPX from down below inside of the laundry rotate. It's a 2v3 to work out of, trying to rush straight up the stairs, slashing through a Claymore as Navi's. He's got one on his hard wall, directly on his right, in the depths of short hallway. Will rip right through Navi's. Last man alive is PX, and in the midst of a crossfire, Shuttle will grab 2 with the L85, dispatch them easily, and that will be Rogue, again, taking the lead.
They started off the first half very well, and going into the second, that was a pretty dominant attack onto the bottom floor, but equally dominant to the ones that Immortals gave us just a round prior. Twice in a row, in fact. So, the question is, will Rogue be able to do it the same way? Get 2 wins onto the basement attack. One thing that's really curious to me about that round was, exactly as you said, the Cold War, I like that by the way, between Vertical and Cyber by tower. Because Vertical was on that flank watch for a solid minute, maybe minute 20.
In that range, yeah.
Yeah, in that range. And he accomplished nothing there. And of course, he's the Ash, you know, his utility is sparse. But at the same time, there's things that you can accomplish if you're focusing elsewhere. And that was a little bit of a misallocation. We've seen this a lot from teams actually recently. It actually happened in NIP versus Reciprocity, the match prior. When on Consulate, Reciprocity failed to drone their player in to clear up the D roamers on Consulate. They were playing in admin office when defending the actual basement. So if we had seen somebody drone Vertical into tower there, it could have been an easy double kill. M-King was in Meeting Hall. You take out the Jaeger of Cybera inside of, or Cyber inside of tower, and then you make the push into Meeting Hall, you've got an easy double kill for your Valkyrie, and that's just one person taking 30 seconds away from something else to drone for a teammate. It would be nice to see from Rogue, but all in all, they won the round, so it doesn't really matter.
Identical lineup coming out from Rogue this time, and the biggest advantage for that, like you said.
Did they have the cap out last time?
They did.
Oh, okay.
He's rocking the cap. Like you said, the lack of information, it seems to be the story for both sides right now on Oregon. No one really taking the time to be efficient and thorough with their droning. It's a lot of assumptions being made, and this one turns out to be correct for the second round in a row as Vertical spots out the windows being popped up by Cyber at the top of T3, and he's not going to engage with it, and Cyber will bounce out immediately as well. So Seems like a mirror image to the start of last round. It'll be up to Immortals to try and respond and not all die inside of meeting, as Bullet and M King have already taken a lot of damage.
Yeah, dangerous for Immortals. You see the droning here from Slashug, doing the support work, doing it well. Cyber's gonna open up his own angles in the meeting hall. Somebody finally brings out the shotgun to his system. That's good to see. It's M King just inside the meeting. Pretty much just identical setup from Immortals as much as it was an identical operator lineup from Rogue. I mean, seeing a lot of the same from last round here. The only difference, I guess, is that we haven't had an early pick for the attackers just yet. So, see if that changes. Easily looking for the frag. Cyber's gonna push his way up to T3. That's dangerous. But again, if nobody from the attack tree commits to droning this out, then he could be a very powerful position to play. Shadow will get the early pick that we were waiting for. His bullet goes down. That is unfortunate. He was, wait, what? He was peeking out of... Why are you peeking out of meeting hall entrance? Or meeting hall split, I like that. I have no idea. A run out by tower for Cyber. He's baiting people into him. It might work to his disadvantage as they have found his location because he broadcasted it.
Hailstorm of bullets, but it's Cyber winning it out onto vertical. They have to evade the OTS-03 from Slashug, who's now turned his attention back towards the bottom of the main stairs. So they level things at a 4v4, and Cyber still has that pushing power to be able to erupt out of meeting as soon as the plant attempt comes through. One smoke again to bait things out. The asphyxiating bolt will finish off M King, and there goes Slash, threading the needle in through the bookshelves to find the head of PX. Spots coming out, free fires from Navis will not connect on the head. So he'll do a 360 to move his way out of meeting, but he's the last man standing, and it won't even matter, as Eclipse will shut that down with ease, and Rogue on back-to-back rounds will now add some separation, some breathing room. They are 2 rounds away from taking the first map in this do-or-die elimination game.
We've seen both teams struggle to defend the basement. The only one having any success was Rogue in the very first attempt, but they lost 2 in a row, and now Immortals have lost 2 in a row. Because of that, an adjustment. Going upstairs to dorms, the right call for Immortals. Might have saved them a little bit of time if they had gone here earlier, but it's probably not going to matter in the long run, because if they win here on the top floor, guess where they have to go?
Back downstairs, unless you really want to try tower off rip when you have the option to go downstairs.
And because of that, this is an awesome moment for a tactical timeout, because you either have to defend downstairs and try again with a new strategy, or you're going to try to go to one of the offsites, which is going to require some planning, some thought. Of course, you've got to be ready to defend those offsites going into a match, but it's always best to do things on the fly, because you can adjust the strategy that you're planning for your opponent and how your opponent is handling these rounds. We'll see if Immortals are capable of putting something together here with this tactical timeout. It will finally expire, and we'll get back into the action. Top floor is the option for Immortals.
3rd consecutive round for identical operators for Rogue. They seem to have found their universal fit that they like to take to any bomb site they're comfortable with.
I think this is actually a really good 5-man lineup for any side on Oregon, to be honest. I mean, Glaz is always good here. We have seen, this is really interesting because Glaz was not banned, which is worth noting, but we have seen Rogue bring Glaz before in the Rogue versus SSG match, and it was on the 2nd map where they were playing as SSG in that series. It was yesterday. Rogue got 7-2'd. Glaz landed like no shots as Glaz in that match, like 1 or 2 maybe, but he was having a bad day. And he's not having a bad day here. He is showing up and then some, doing some great work as the Glaz, but not only just as the Glaz. He had a good defensive half as well. So it's good to see that that was a one-off. You gotta wait for the round to start, obviously. It's good to see that that was a one-off from Rogue and that they've now woken up. And Slash in particular, having a really good match is awesome. He's a good Glaz when he's on.
Yeah, when he's on, Slash is a very powerful Glaz, and he knows when to pick his spots to strike. He doesn't just always wide peek with the fluorescent scope up. He knows how to protect himself and keep himself alive because he knows the magnitude of his utility and what it can do for an entire push, especially when the whole team is bringing smokes.
So, Immortals. A lot of roamers here. See only 2 anchors currently, M King and PX. Everybody else far field doing their best to delay for as long as possible. We've got the smoke and the echo. Some great counterplant utility here, as well as potentially C4 from below from Navi's. Rogue have been lazy on their drone. Not as lazy as Immortals, but also lazy. They're not going to be this lazy, or so lazy that they'll miss. Navi's, though, in the basement, so here we go. Navi's position discovered. He will decide to rotate. That is the correct call. Because he rotates, it'll be more of a hunt for Rogue, and potentially a lot of time wasted.
Coming into the midway point of the round, and a good spot out there on Navi's Valkyrie camera. It's a pretty typical one on top of the mastered bedroom closet. The thermite charge will come out and completely erupt a giant hole. I won't finish Thermite's tagline, but a giant hole in the generator wall, and you've got a double hold downstairs right now for Immortals. You got one Nitro Cell in the hand of Navi. Cyber was also providing support, and he seems to be creeping his way up the bathroom hallway to initiate a flank through main lobby. 2 flank watch right now for Rogue in towards Garage, and that will be vertical, shutting down Cyber. An immediate refrag, though, from Navi's as smokes detonate and plume out in the hallways, disrupting all visibility, but Toxic Babes and Reciprocation will rebuff the initial attempt from Rogue, and PX left throw another one to continue the pressure onto Rogue and push them through.
Immortals in a good position here. They have the utility still. The counter utility from the exothermic charges and the firebolts are going to be huge. Now he takes down Slashhog with a C4. That's the cover through the smokes. Shuttle's trying to come up from behind, but he's got to hurry. The rest of his team are getting taken out one by one. The Legion Mines and the barbed wire are going to shut him down, and the last player easily will also be eliminated as the Immortals sweeps things up and takes their first defensive round.
Bring it back within 1, and after Vertical died, he DC'd, so we are more than likely gonna have to wait this out unless he can get back in quickly.
Looks like we're having a pause here. So we're just gonna wait, find out what the problem is. It was Vertical again, so I don't know what's going on, but this is the second time we've had problems with Vertical's set up. So it looks like it was out straight up game crash. So this isn't Vertical's fault. So you know, the game crashed for him. I think the last time it was a mouse problem, and they corrected that one. So lots of different issues here. It was a good moment though for everybody to again catch their breath. We've seen a lot of those in this match so far. Second total, I suppose, not including tactical timeouts. So after winning the top floor, Immortals will have to go downstairs, and they, well, haven't been very successful there, but it's been one-sided.
It's been the trend well, I almost said this entire week, but it's only been a day and a half. Feels like it's been a lot longer than that. But anyway, yesterday, that was the trend. Like I said, about 4 for 15 yesterday on basement defenses on Oregon, but Immortals having, like you said, one upstairs. They're forced off of dorms. They have a decision to make. Do they go tower, or do they go laundry? I guess they feel they can correct the mistakes that have been made on laundry more than try and flesh out a whole new strategy and give that a run on tower.
Tower hard, man.
Yep. It's not the easiest site in the world.
No, it's one of the more difficult ones. Yeah.
As we saw by Rogue's attempt at it.
Yeah.
Lose one little piece of control, and all of a sudden it all dominoes, and you can't get back.
I think that was more Rogue misallocating control, though. Like, they put so much on Easly's shoulders, and as soon as he was gone, round over. Well, I'm sure we'll get a chance to see what Immortals has for us on tower. Either that or this match will be over quickly. Rogue, they've had such good attacks under the basement. You've got the right lineup for this. The bottom being banned, the Thermite is the only real option. So, I mean, technically, I guess you could bring a Maverick, but that would be really, really hard to open the main lobby drop with. I feel like it's probably one of the most exposed drop downs that you open up, period.
Yeah, you wouldn't have a fun time doing that.
No.
27 crossfires you'd have to work. You'd have to get the whole team watching a flank for you.
Let's imagine that the attackers haven't cleared out everything. And let's think about the angles. They see 1 upper main stairs, 2 lower main stairs. 3 and 4 are going to be the both meeting hall entrance sides. Potentially garage even, and then kitchen hallway. They can also open up above you.
Yep.
And I guess that's it. So that's like 7.
Defender has left the area of
Cyber, he's going for it.
works.
I don't know how that worked, but it did. And he takes out Vertical. Okay, then.
The man with a lot of issues right now as far as technicalities are concerned for Vertical, and he'll be the first to fall, but easily realizing that Cyber's backed off.
For that timing.
Barely. Oh, wow. Well, it's going to land that shot all the way from small tower, so I guess he caught him on the push out on the rappel.
It's crazy.
Beautiful shot there from Bullet. I wonder if he's still rocking the iron sights on that MP5K, or if he's corrected himself and added some attachments. Nonetheless, it's a two-man advantage here for Immortals very early on this round, and we talked about how the basement defense is not the easiest to hold this week so far at the SI-19, but this might be a different way of doing it. Just get up in their face and don't even worry about defending the actual objective. They all start falling like dominoes, and Navi's will clean things up with an immediate 3K. Shuttle, Slash, and Eclipse all drop and evaporate into thin air, and Immortals take the fight to Rogue and end up winning it.
Wow. Absolutely dominant round there for Immortals, and if I'm not mistaken, a perfect one as well. The aggression not being stopped from Rogue, and because of that, they will be stomped. Now, Tower, the next defense here, this is where we should see Rogue take it back, bring it to that 6-5. But we've been surprised before. And I seriously doubt that Immortals are going to make the same mistake that Rogue did when Rogue went to their defense of the tower, which was, again, they didn't control T3.
Yeah.
I get the idea. I get the plan is like gas canisters, throw them up from below. But it's just such a risk.
It is. And it's more soft cover than it is actual physical cover of the entirety of T3.
Look at how top-heavy Immortals is right now. Navi's and Bullet, and that's it.
Yeah, Cyber's doing a couple things here and there on these crazy runouts, but other than that, I mean, that's 25 kills through 10 rounds for 2 people.
Yeah, meanwhile, Rogue have a very even split. Lots of teamwork going on there. Everybody contributing.
Talked about yesterday how Fnatic were very interested in targeting individual members of Reciprocity, whether it was going to be Laxing or Skies, and whoever was going to be having the better day, that's who they would focus on, drone out, and 4-man clear. Maybe I'm going to start adopting a little bit of that for Rogue here, and find some of these top fraggers on Immortals, considering they're the ones doing the most work.
And shut them down.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of those top-heavy matches I've seen in a while. So if they get wind of that and decide to commit to exactly what you're talking about, then heck yeah, that could be an advantage. Could be also a free kill here for PX if he, oh, he didn't see it. We can see the silhouette, the head peeking over the top of that truck, but PX unable to notice it. And because of that, he misses out on an opportunity. You can see the hands now. Thatcher pushing his way towards garage. That could be a kill. He's probably making the call for his teammate. Cyber is, though, distracted right now by his opponents on the north rappel. It's not an easy situation to play. T3 of Tower is essential control, and he's just playing to survive, not going for those picks. You can see, though, the supporting cast of M-King and PX, that's 3 people to hold Tier 2 and Tier 3 of Tower. And that's much more investment than we saw from Rogue.
Every possible angle up to the top has been opened up now. Every window, every floorboard, and easily will start things off. Eclipse immediately traded out, though, by the MP5 SD of PX. Candelos will rain out from Slash. He's repelled on the T2 windows. Diffuser in hand as well as he maneuvers his way back and forth out of the purview of the windows now. Top and aggressive peek coming out from Cyber. He's continuing to do so back and forth.
Oh.
And it will be his demise as Cyber will clean that up. Sorry, get cleaned up by easily.
That's 2 for him in the round. He's going for a 3rd, but just barely misses out on that opportunity. T3 is clear, though. Because of that, Slash just worked his way in, and he's going to take down PX. M-King refrags onto easily, but gets refragged himself because he lingers outside. Slash above will take down Navi's. What a round from Rogue, all off of those early picks from easily.
Well, you can see Ranger doing his little hand signals. Not the Norango hand signals, some different ones, and he's signaling for a timeout. Rogue on the brink of getting...
I don't even know what it means, man.
I have no clue.
But I know how to do it, but I don't know what it means.
Rogue on the brink of wrapping up map number 1. Now Suo walks by and we're all
distracted doing the hand thing, the Nora hand thing. I don't know what it is. It's fun to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. All right, so tactical timeout from Rogue.
Yep.
And that's a good time, I think, to take their tactical pause because they just won a round. They put themselves on match point. If they win the subsequent round, it's over. But they have to attack top floor. They haven't won this one yet.
Nope.
This is the go-to site for Immortals right now.
This is the difference maker. Will it tilt in the side of the attackers on a 4-2 split on this half, or we will return to a 3-3 split and proceed into overtime, at which point coin flip will not call that. It'll be probably a top 4 defense from each team, most likely successful, and then someone's got to convert, and most recently, it was Immortals that was the most successful in a downstairs defense.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. That depends on if we get to OT. Here's the thing that I'm looking at immediately.
Okay.
Rogue just took their tactical timeout, and in a tactical timeout, you're allowed to put together strategies, and if Rogue can establish themselves a really powerful strategy early on and put it into the match being over, I mean, then we go to map number 2. I think the fact that they were given that time, those 30 seconds to take that tactical timeout and plan out a strat, it's either going to fall flat on its face, or we're going to see a decisive round for Rogue. That's what I'm projecting here. They have very drastically changed their lineup. There's no more Glass. So yeah, it's clear that Rogue have a very specific strat to take this hold.
Still extremely top heavy on the scoreboard, but the depth players on Immortals getting into some interesting decisions as far as gunfights are concerned. Last round on the tower, just trying to get extremely aggressive again. Trying to play off that aggression that they garnered on the previous round defending downstairs, where they were roaming upstairs and the whole fight was centered around meeting hall as opposed or compared to the objective.
Attackers recover
Lots of roaming.
Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Immortals know that they need to be aggressive to keep a presence on the majority of the map. Else they run the risk of Rogue setting up and executing with relative ease. We've been seeing a lot of teams going that way on the defense, and it's become the meta, and it also will get Navi's the first kill of this round. Eclipse going down, and lo and behold, it's the hard breacher. That's about as bad as it gets for Rogue. The only comparable pick would have been Capital, but it's not even close in this scenario. No hard breaching available to the attack means that they're going to have to completely change their strategy in all likelihood. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought the hard breacher. So I'd say the right call here right now for Rogue is to go for a tower north windows take, because you don't need any hard destruction for that. But that's on them to make that call. Realize that's the only really good option in this scenario.
Well, like you said, it's the only option they have. There's no way you're pushing through the master hallway corridor in a single door and having success with that.
Sometimes it takes teams a long time to figure it out, though, and it's how much time will Rogue waste? It looks like they've already figured it out.
That's what you'd expect from a very experienced team like Rogue as well.
Yeah.
They're not a new team, that's for sure. And having that experience also, Oregon a day 1 map, they've been through this. They've been through the ringer plenty of times on Oregon. The biggest problem here is going to be Bullet, because they haven't, while they have had to pivot for this kids windows take, they haven't gone through an initial clear of the main floor to facilitate a successful windows take. Asphyxiating Bolt will come up easily, trying to dispel the positioning of PX, and will drop him down to about 10 HP as he falls to the pantry hatch. And he will join Bullet downstairs. This Valkyrie camera also providing limitless intel to anyone on the rappel. That's
a very basic Valkyrie cam right there, and the fact that it's not been detected is pretty shocking. It's going to give a lot of intel, as you said, to the defense and allow Valkyrie to get an easy kill onto easily. Putting Immortals in OT position right now. They're just inches away. Rogue hasn't got much to show for it, to be honest. And one on big window, slash on North Rappel. He's looking for an opportunity. He's still got people playing below him. Vertical's going to get one, but he needs much, much more. Shuttle's still on the roof. Running out of time, needs to get into the action if he wants to influence this round. Can't just be sitting up there on flank watch all day. Inside a junk tower, it's Valkyrie. Another kill for Vertical. That's exactly what you need to see for Rogue. Slash still has the ability to go into North Window, but they don't have the diffuser in hand. It's down under the North Windows, and it doesn't seem like anyone on Rogue is aware of this. They're going to have to go for frags. And with Bullet still downstairs in full HP, it might not matter. Slash takes out PX, and there's still one on sight, but Bullet is going for broke, running away from sight. Cyber gets one on the west window. He goes for a second, and it's an even skirmish here, but there's no time, and the diffuser's not in hand. Vertical gets another one, but Immortals win it on time alone because of negligence from Rogue. They didn't pick up the diffuser.
I'm so lost right now. You had a lot of time to recover that. I think Slash died with it at 45.
Whoever the sledge was, and I didn't catch it, I apologize. But whoever that was, pick up the diffuser, man.
Like, that would have been so perfect because Vert jumps in big window. Bullet, I guess, assumes they have diffuser and tries to retreat up top white.
Yeah, he's bringing it back.
Touching the backside of Cyber. They were lined up for each other. Another 2 seconds in that round, and Vert probably cleans them both up. But he would have been perfect plant cover for someone to get the diffuser, immediately repel up kids' windows, rappel into kids' windows, and start a plant. No more nitros left on the board. No intel in the objective. Easy plant cover for Vert from big window. That's a win. That's map 1 in the books. We're going to map 2.
One pretty major mistake there from Rogue. Cost them the entire round. And potentially the map.
Yeah.
Because that would have been it. We would be on map 2 right now, as you said. But no. OT. And Immortals get defense first. They get to go upstairs. This is their go-to site. As you said earlier, it's probably going to be the case that we see both teams go top floor and win it, which means Immortals are kind of in the disadvantageous position in that they have to defend twice. They're going to have to go to either the basement or one of the off sites, and both teams struggle in the basement.
Defender is approaching a kill zone. Defender exposed.
Navi's with a...
I mean, he wanted that drone, man.
I was going to say, aggressive play. It works out for him. Nobody catches him off guard inside of Garage with a pre-fire off the spawn, thankfully, even though he was detected.
Drone economy is a real thing.
Gets the drone out of it. He gets away with his life. You know, sometimes some of those big shots that could be punished, they get or they slip by.
Yep. Now Rogue down a whole drone.
Oh no. We've only got 9 more.
But anyway. Top floor attack. It's expected that Immortals wins this. If they don't win this, then oh wow, is it going to be really hard for them to bring this back. Top floor is the site, as we discussed.
Attackers have located a bomb.
And here's the thing. If Immortals win this as well, it could potentially tilt Rogue. They went into this match with a really, you know, you could see it, the happiness on their faces, but it might have already been kind of dispersed. It could be the happiness is gone. We're not sure. We can't see them right now, but we do know they just blew a potential round win because they didn't pick up a diffuser, and that's a tilter. That's it. It's a tilter. So this could be rough for Rogue if they lose this here, and it could cascade into defeat. But if they win it, then it would be almost a guaranteed victory. So it's going to be interesting how this next minute 25 plays out.
It's Cyber playing inside of Generator right now with double coverage from Navi's and Bullet. Cyber's going to peek out into the hallway easily. On the pre-fire as he retreats and will join Slash and Cyber. And Aggressive gets droned out in the corner now. Just on the precipice of the doorway. Oh, he just sees the head for a moment. And Vertical will start things off on a Navi's. That's your only Nitro cell on the side of Immortals taken care of. That's a good start for Rogue here to facilitate a slide and execute.
Love that VIP skin on Cyber. He hasn't been able to make anything happen with the actual gun, though. Rotating over to Attic, potentially there's a rotation. Smoke and plant from easily. He could get this down. There's nobody denying. Where are the Yokai drones? Where are the C4s? And it goes down with 4 defenders still alive. Rogue will plant the diffuser. And in this scenario, almost unlosable for the attack. Cyber has worked his way into Attic, which is a good position for a crossfire. But look at his teammates all lit up. And again, 1 man down. Easily has been downed on the attacking side, but he's being picked up. How does it happen that he gets back up from that scenario? A Claymore gets a kill. Cyber from Attic will finally influence the round, taking out easily, but there's no time for the defenders to disable this diffuser, and it's planted in a very exposed spot. M-King goes for it, but gets shut down. Shuttle with 2 for himself. The shotgun from PX is not gonna land, but it will finally. It's a Claymore. That's 2 Claymore kills in the round, and Rogue will take it, all but guaranteeing their victory on this map.
Good recovery there, but wow, is the information game lacking as a whole right now for Immortals. We talked about it on their attacking side with their just lack of droning. Like you said, where are the Yokais? Where are the Black Eyes? Where's
the C4
Mines, C4, Toxic Babes? I don't. All the utility on your entire roster. Where did it go?
Don't worry about it, guys. We can just wait.
Yeah.
Post plant, we'll retake. No problem. Good strategy. So
tough one.
Yeah, I said all but guarantees, and Rogue are going to get to go to the top floor. So that's a really good position to be in right now. I don't think it's likely Rogue is going to throw this round after the strategy they just pulled there. Here's the thing. That was a really basic strategy from Rogue. That was the same strat they were running time and time again while attacking the top floor. And that's the first time, I think, it's actually worked out for them. Yeah, I want to say that's the first time that attack strategy has worked for Rogue. So, I mean, it's not like they changed something. It's just Immortals suddenly stopped paying attention, which I don't have an explanation.
I think my only explanation, and it's not even like an excuse or justification for Immortals, I've seen the pattern for Rogue where every single time they have 4 smokes on their attack, they use one as an immediate bait where no one runs in. They use the second one as a first bait where they'll use the sound cue of the plant going down initially, then pull off, and then their last 2 smokes are the serious ones. First smoke went down for Eclipse, and he just kind of waltzed in there and said, okay, I'm going to just try this off rip. I'm not sure if Immortals were just assuming that it was going to be the immediate bait like it had always been, or if they really just kind of fell asleep at the wheel there and, wow, easily that is. Well advised, as Slash will fall as well. So there goes your Valkyrie. Okay, we said it was all but assured that Rogue would win the round, and you just lost extreme amounts of crucial plant delay and denial utility. In 20 seconds.
So remember when we said it was all but over?
Yeah. It's not over yet, is it?
Yeah, I guess not. There's 2 roamers, which means only 1 anchor right now for Rogue. I have no idea what just happened. Like, Rogue are in a tricky spot. After dropping 2 picks for free, Navi's gonna drone out Eclipse, and it'll cost him the drone, but valuable information, knowing there's a pulse playing underneath the site. You have to clear him out before you start pushing in. And I'm sure that that'll be a focus for Immortals moving forward. Either that, or they're just gonna say, screw it. We'll take 1 loss from the C4 in exchange for a straight push into site. They have the time, so I don't think they need to go commit to that. Clip's gonna get the phone call. He'll answer it. Did not shoot his teammate's phone, so that still could be hacked. Camera's gonna be very valuable, especially considering there's a Valkyrie in play.
Biggest problem right now for Rogue is that Shuttle is the lone man on site. I think everyone on Immortals is reading this as the smoke will come out and Navi's will push the hallway with the LMG in hand. A second one for Navi's at the top of White Stairs will shut down Eclipse. It's vertical alone in a 1v5. PX hitting the plant down. Here's the ladder. And we'll descend deeper into Armory. Vertical takes down 1 through the wall and will drop immediately through the ladder stall. Another one peeking him on his right-hand side. Bullet will end the round, and that will put Immortals back on the defensive side with the opportunity to go back upstairs and not make the same mistakes. Is this a game of throws?
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it.
This is a game of throws. We're watching one team throw a round, and then the other team will throw the round in response. It's like, oh, no, you take the win. No, you take the win. No, you take the win. Yeah, I wonder who's going to say, I'll take the win first. Maybe it'll be Immortals. Maybe they are selfless and magnanimous, and they'll give it to Rogue. But what the heck?
Doesn't it look like they're doing that right now? Giving it to Rogue?
Maybe. I mean, all things considered, Rogue are going to guess it'll be top floor. They've got to be betting on a top floor right now. And it's going to be a bottom floor. But at the same time, I don't know that that's really going to matter because they bring the same operator selection for both sites. So, like, identical operator selection, both sites.
All they got to be wary of is that extreme pressure from inside the meeting that resulted in the only Immortals win downstairs.
Yeah, it was the heavy roam.
Yeah, it was the 4-man meeting hold with T2 and T3 control and everyone just peeking anything possible. Any window, put your face in it and take a shot.
Yeah, Immortals really tripped up Rogue in that round. And well, I mean, that's on Rogue, I guess, to not allow that to happen. It looks like they're going to commit to a west clear first, and there are roamers in the west side of the building for Immortals. Some nice cameras going on here. That camera's going to allow for a retake into kitchen from meeting hall. It's good information if it stays alive.
Out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Well, wouldn't be the B stream, sorry, if we didn't go the distance.
Yeah.
Maximum round possibility, at least on map number 1 here. Round 15 will be the decider. There is nothing after this on Oregon. There are possibly 2 more maps to go.
We didn't go to the 3rd map in the first series of the day, so there's that. Yeah. One's in T3 of Tower, everybody else defending downstairs for Immortals right now. Interesting setup. Not a lot of meeting hall presence. I'm sure they'll change that, though. meeting all presence is pretty important for any defensive team on this site. And again, because if Rogue is allowed to set themselves up, they are going to probably win. Oh, weird. You know, the way that you defend the basement is so different when there's no Mira.
Yeah.
You can open up that whole wall. You don't have to worry about making it a vault wall to avoid the Twitch drones going in, because who cares? There's no Mira. Vertical has finally cleared out top west, but it took him a while.
No Mira, no Maestro either. That's kind of where the smoke plants are becoming the majority here on this map. We've seen other instances of Oregon being played where the Maestro has been allowed through, and it was the Echo and the Mira banned out, as usually it's 2 of those 3 taken. But the smoke plants weren't all that effective when the Maestro was available. Now, just losing that one operator, the inability to see from the smokes, and no one electing to take bulletproof cameras, it's led the trend to go extreme smoke plant, and it's been working out so far for the majority of both of these teams on the attacking rounds. I think the Immortals downstairs winning was only 1 of 2 this entire game.
Not sure, but it's not an easy thing to pull off.
No.
That's for sure. It's really, you're in a corner, and it can be difficult to make work. But when you've got PX landing shots onto easily, that wow, that's half your smokes and all of your asphyxiating bolts gone. That is absolutely, oh no.
Valkyrie cam watching it too, and there's
only 50
seconds
wait a
left.
minute. I think this happened yesterday as well. It was Rogue, I believe, against SSG, maybe one of the very similar cam, I want to say, on the same map, but it's happening twice.
Eclipse just spotted it and took it out. But there's another one looking in the depths of Laundry Room, and Cyber will spot the flank drone inside of Meeting. Vertical looking to push in, and it's a Cold War again at the back of the tower door. We'll strike first. Ping's coming out, and it'll push Cyber back onto the stage as Vertical on the flank hole. 20 seconds left though, and Rogue not in a good position to go for the site execute. They need to get a plant attempt down. All the smokes come raining out now. Plant coming out from Eclipse, and everyone starts retreating back to the objective and filing in towards those main stairs. A reattempt now of the diffuser, and Slash will get 1 for the smoke. The Nitro though will stop the plant in its tracks, trying to turn the corner into the closet with the pistol in hand, putting down the diffuser. It won't be enough. Slash will fall. Immortals will take map number 1 away from Rogue on Oregon.
What a 7-8 in favor of Immortals. It went the distance, every single round being needed. An impressive victory from Immortals. They finally stopped throwing the buck the other way. Just said, you know what, we'll take it. We'll take it. Thank you, Rogue. I appreciate it.
Finally.
But the way that Rogue played that round,